Okay, welcome back everyone. In this next section, what we're going to do is configure Citrix Workspace. Now that name can be a little confusing for some people, so let me kind of describe it for you. Citrix Workspace defines where the user will go in order to authenticate and see which resources they have permissions to launch. It consists of a URL, some different authentication mechanisms, and so forth. This is also done inside of Citrix DAS. So let's get over there now. Okay, we're back over here to manage and then quick deploy. So if I click on this, it's going to take me back to my little menu. Now this piece right here says that it's already done in review, and there's a reason why it says that. Under normal circumstances, if this was the first time you logged on, it would say connect or configure. But in this case, the URL that must be selected has to be globally unique inside of the cloud.com domain. So I already went in there and tested it ahead of time just to make sure it would work. And of course, now it thinks that I've configured it. But that's not a problem. We just hit review and it will give us a chance to go in there and edit anything that we need. The first thing that we need to see on the Workspace config page is going to be access. This is what I configured already. If this was blank, that would be the first thing that you'd have to set. So if I hit edit and then edit again, it's that URL that I tested to make sure that it was globally unique. In this case, Alliance Team is, and it will actually update public DNS so that when a user tries to go to that URL, allianceteam.cloud.com, it will take them to their specific Workspace login portal. So I'm going to keep that. And that takes care of the access piece. Next over is going to be authentication. How do we want the users to actually go and authenticate when they're logging in? Well, that should be pretty clear. In the previous step, we integrated it with Entra ID. So what we want to do is, in this case, go ahead and say we want users to authenticate using Azure Active Directory, also known as Entra, right? Now, this is just telling you, the admin, to be careful here, because if you're going to enable this and the users were used to using the default authentication mechanism, they have to be trained on, okay, you're going to have to log on with a different credential now. Your Azure Active Directory, your Entra ID credential. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom, say I understand, and I'm going to confirm it. Okay, and it should update to Azure Active Directory here. There it goes. All right. So that looks good. The last thing that we want to look for over here is going to be pretty much the preferences, right? So if we go over here to customize, you have a default appearance, you have some appearance themes. There's also a little preferences tab here. And you can see some of the options in here. Allow favorites, a home tab, navigation tab. So you might want to change these around. In this case, all I want to do is I want to make sure that, hey, if the user has one desktop published, it'll auto launch. That may or may not be desirable. I'll enable it. And federated identity provider sessions. Depending upon the configuration, you might allow somebody who authenticates to Azure Active Directory here to automatically be able to connect in with their Windows 365 desktops. Okay, I think everything else looks good. Okay, so we're now good with this. And that should take care of this section.